right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. And let me go ahead and grab the bias chart really quick, and we're going to get started with our morning analysis and starting with the euro dollar. So let's go there. All right, so here's the euro. And as we were discussing, the biggest issue I see with the euro dollar is we had this inverted head and shoulder pattern, as you can see here, that was developed last week, right? And we broke the neckline. However, I remember on Friday I said, you got to be careful here because we're still in ascending wedge and we're not breaking out. And then over the weekend, what we did is we rolled over. So now that puts the downside pressure on the euro. But the more important thing here is, okay, the more important thing about this euro dollar move is not necessarily where we're at right now, but if we start taking out these lows, like if we take out this support and this support, then we have another leg lower, which will probably take us down to retest the lows. Because if you, let's go out to the daily chart, and if you just grab like this flagpole here, if I can get it, oops, okay, we'll just do it on a 4-hour chart. Probably be easier for me to do this. So we're here, and if we take this flagpole, okay, that flagpole will take us down to 106. So that isn't a, I guess it isn't a retest of the lows, but it'll probably be about a 78% retracement. A little past. I guess it is past, huh? All the way around. Yeah. Huh. Okay. A little deeper than I thought it'd be. But anyway, so that I think is the big risk right now with the euro dollar. Not saying that that's where it's going necessarily, but if it does break down into new lows, that's what I would expect. I'd expect to move down to 106 at least. So does that mean we're doing it now? Not necessarily. Sorry, my other computer went dark on me. Hold on. You guys, hold on a second. I'm sorry. Stand by. Okay, sorry about that. I had to just make an adjustment. So going back into the chart. So that's what I think the risk is for the euro right now. Now let's go to the hourly chart and let's figure out where support is. And let me get rid of this really quick because that's just making some assumptions that we're moving lower. Okay. So let's take the actual low that we hit, which is 108, to the high at 110. Okay, so the 618, perfect reaction from there. Boom. So obviously, that's huge support for the euro dollar now. Huge. Okay, huge support for the euro. So that support comes in at 108.90. If 108.90 breaks, the euro's in trouble. Period. For today. All right. No, there's no if and or buts about it to me. All right. Now, where does the euro, where's that pressure turn back away from the, this downside pressure? Where does it turn back to, or gets rid of this downside pressure? Probably right back above here. So those are the hourly highs. That's the overnight highs. Not overnight highs, but those are the highs that were set in Asia. Okay. So that's going to be 109, basically 65. So to take this downside pressure off the euro, we have to get back above 109.65. If not, I think the risk is higher that the euro dollar continues to fall back to the lower end of its range. Okay, because we got flag pattern after flag pattern, flag pattern, flag pattern. So to take the downside pressure off here, we got to get back above 109.65. If not, the risk is that we just continue to push down below 108. Okay. All right, let's go over to the cable. So the cable, like I said, real close. Oh, wow. Did we get we might get a bullish engulfing pattern here. I was just saying how important support we're getting to. This is a 50% retracement, in case you guys missed it. When I was talking about before we went on break, we had a 50% retracement breakout point. It's right here. And the cable, and this is also channel support. So, there's a confluence of a lot of stuff down here. So here, let's get rid of this, that, 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 that. That was from Friday, obviously. So that also shows us exactly how important that resistance is. Go to an hourly chart, and we can do this. So the pound, you know what? I had that drawn from here, didn't I? Okay. Hmm. I'm just trying to figure out exactly what's containing this cable. So anyway, looking at the pound, obviously we're nearing some really key support. So you can see this confluence of that's the breakout point. If you don't know where that's at, it's right here. Okay, that 51.60. We also have the 50% retracement that comes in right there. Okay. Um, I hear Steve Bilby, so I'm going to mute his microphone. There you go. Um, so we got support here. I mean, I'm going to write down 151 just in case the 51.65, just in case we have some good data out of some U.S. economic data. I want to make sure that any move down to 151.65 is probably going to be very, very well supported. Okay. Now resistance be 153. We're at 152.25. So to take that downside pressure off the cable, at least 153 is going to have to be taken out. Okay. Let's go take a look at the Swissy. So the Swissy. So the weakness in the dollar Swiss or the Swiss franc, you know, with the man, this reaction. I mean, look at the cable. What a bounce off of there. Damn it. I was hoping it would go a little lower before I bought it. This thing's already starting to jack higher. I'm not in it, obviously. Um, that 51 95 is the 50% retracement. We bounced off there pretty aggressively. Kiwi new highs. Okay. Anyway, let's go back over to the Swissy. So overnight we had Swiss manufacturing PMIs that came in better than expected, but that obviously didn't help the Swiss franc. Swiss franc was weak all night. So if you go back out to the daily chart or the 4-hour chart, I guess it's probably better. Let's delete that really quick. As you know, and I'll continue to say this, I have no interest in trading the Swissy right now. I really don't, because I'm just as fearful as the next person about you know Greece defaulting, and should they default, the Swiss franc will strengthen, the dollar Swiss will probably fall, as all Swiss pairs would fall, I would assume. Um, so I'm just not excited about trading the Swiss at all. Okay, so this 38% retracement here held, obviously, on that spike low right there, that held. That spike high held. So that comes in at 94.80, 93, basically 50, 94.80, 93.50, and I have no idea what to do with it. 93.50, 0.9480, and we're in a range. Okay, let's go take a look at the yen. So the dollar yen continues to maintain its bullish bias here. I mean, it's really not backing off. S&P futures just bounced pretty aggressively. Did news come out? Hold on. Greek deal may be announced later today. Euro is bouncing. The use Oettinger wants a Greek deal by June 5th. IMF payment deadline. Talks that a deal will be announced at 1500 CET. So there's a lot of chatter about a Greek deal being finalized, and that's obviously helping the markets. Wasn't even paying attention as I was doing analysis on the yen or the Swissy. So be careful. It's all headline driven. All these moves are headline driven at the moment. So there's a rumor that a deal is going to be announced in basically 2 hours and 15 minutes. That's the rumor. And if nothing happens, the euro is going to come right back down. But I just looked. The only reason why I noticed is I was looking at, obviously the Swissy coming down, but I looked over and I saw the futures And here's the S&P futures, probably on very low volume. Yeah, so Barry's gonna say it's gonna be sell the news. I don't know. I don't know if I would necessarily fade a Greek deal being announced. Not today. That's the kind of assurance the market needs for a couple of days of a rally. So I don't know if I would sell that news. It's not like, I mean, we can all go back to, the ECB is going to do quantitative easing and Fed's going to raise rates. We can go back to that argument a couple of days from now, but I wouldn't fade. I wouldn't fade if there is some sort of evidence uh, of a deal put together, especially with creditors. I wouldn't I wouldn't bet against it today. That's just my 2 cents, Barry. Catherine says if that's CET, then 1500 is in 1 hour and 15 minutes, I think. No, Central European time right now, correct me if I'm wrong, it's 12:48 p.m. right now. Okay, hold on. Okay. Everybody says that. Okay, so here's why I say that. I must be wrong, or Google's wrong. 12:48 Central European time. That's what Google says. All right. Everybody else says it's going to be in an hour and 15 minutes. Okay, so if it doesn't happen in an hour and 15 minutes, and it's in 2 hours and 15 minutes, how about that? All right. So, hey, hopefully it's in an hour and 15 minutes because I'll be coming off of air. Basically, I'll be changing over between Kip and I when or if that happens. So that'll be good, right? Okay. All right. You guys fight it out. You guys are Europeans. You should know this. I don't know this. Yeah, hold on. Time, time. That's right. Timeanddate.com is the website I always go to. So timeanddate.com. Let's see. What is CET? World clock, main world clock. Uh, I don't think CET is on here. Let me go. Central European time. Uh, hell, I don't know. All right, you guys figure it out. Let me know. But we're if we do have a Greek deal, it's going to be happening in the next hour and 15 minutes or 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay. All right. All right, guys. Anyway, that's the reason why the euro is stronger. That's why the futures have rallied. And let me see here. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back to the charts. Okay. Where was I at? I was at the yen. Let's go back to the yen. So here's the yen, and we were just talking about how strong the yen is. Uh, and the thing about the dollar yen is the dollar yen is holding these gains, and that's the thing. If you're out there fading the dollar yen, be really careful about it. Okay, be very very careful about it. So to me, it still looks like we're going to break higher. So 124.50, and then support is right here at 123.30. Okay, so I would probably just keep in mind that we're wedging pennant in a bullish trend. So 124.50, 123.30, 123.30, 124.50, and we are in a bullish trend. Um, so funny. So okay, the euro has turned back down. There's a so there's a rumor that just got denied, and the S&P was up and it spiked up really nicely, and now the euro is probably going to come right back down again. A lot of headline news trading right now, you guys. That's it. All right, don't get sucked into the mess. All right, so we did the Swissy yen, and let's just do the Canadian really quick before we take a break. All right, so here's the dollar Canadian. Dollar Canadian still holding up pretty well. I don't know what all this is, so I'm going to delete it. Obviously, from Friday, it was the messy lines that we had drawn that didn't transfer correctly, but that's okay. Um, so there's the dollar Canadian, and the dollar Canadian actually is pretty much range bound, but it's holding at the higher end of its range, which suggests to me that you got to be really, really careful being on the short side of this. I mean, the natural propensity to short the dollar Canadian when you're up against resistance right here, it seems like okay, that's the right trade, but I'll be very careful here. Just like the dollar yen, the dollar Canadian's holding up really well. Look at the euros coming right back down again. Sucked a lot of people into that market right there. 125.40. Reuters officials close to a creditor talks with Athens deny market talk that a deal with Greece is to be announced this afternoon. So, if you thought a deal was coming, it doesn't look like there is. So, okay, 125.40 support is going to be right here at 124.10. We are in a bullish trend in the dollar Canadian, and we're just trying to grind higher. All right, when we come back, we're going to do the Kiwi, the Aussie, and the dollar index. Be careful of this euro, guys. Looks like it's just going to come right back down. All right, be right back. All right, guys and gals, this is Blake Morrow. You were listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. And really quick, just, the German CPI numbers just came in line with expectations, by the way. 0.7% expected year over year. And so that had moved the euro just a little bit. But really, the market caught pushed up on these rumors that that some Greek deal was going to be that was imminent, and the euro's come back down. I mean, well, the euro came down a little bit actually. It's and the markets have come down a little bit. So, but yeah, you got that euro spiked up, and then we're just kind of moderating. But regardless, there's going to be a lot of rumors this week, especially as we get closer to June 5th, which is when we are expecting the payment to the IMF from Greece. So we'll see as the time approaches. But be very careful of buying these rumors. There's a lot of rumors circulating around. So all right, let's get over to the Kiwi. So here's the New Zealand dollar, and the New Zealand dollar, it's actually had a decent recovery overnight, considering. When I say considering, what I mean by that is considering the fact that the euro has been so weak, the Kiwi has actually had a decent recovery, that it hasn't gone down. And, in my opinion, if we can make it to 71.70, that's where I'm looking to sell it. Probably anywhere between 71.70 to 72. Now, if you don't know the reason why, if you just go over to the daily chart, okay, this support right here will come in at 71.70. So right there. All right. And oops, 71. Let me just make sure 70 right there. That low is 71.74. So if we make it back there, I am looking to sell the Kiwi. Now, it might not be necessarily this morning. But if it's weak U.S. data today, then we're going to get a spike back up towards 71.70. Any move up to 71.70 to 72.10, I am looking to sell. So just so you all know, 71.70.7210. Okay, those are resistance levels that I'm looking at for the Kiwi. Support obviously will be just overnight support at this point, 70.74, but 70.25 is really where key support is, which is the 161% extension, 127% extension, I'm sorry. Let's make sure I've got that number correct. 71.74, all right there. So it's going to be 70.20. That's where really key support for the euro, for the Kiwi comes in. Right now, as it stands, though, 70.75 will be support. 0.7075, that is support. Okay. Let's go over to the Aussie. Aussie is bearish as well, but the Aussie has had less of a recovery than the Kiwi. Now, if you look at the Aussie dollar, and by the way, the RBA has their rate decision tomorrow. Market is expecting no change in monetary policy, but the megaphone pattern, and well, first of all, we have major support that comes down here at 75, whatever all these lows are, 75.40, 75.30. Okay, we're still about 100 pips away. And if you look at the Aussie, I mean, it's held by this trend line. Okay, let's get rid of this. So really, unless we break above 76.70, it's bearish. And then support's going to be right through here at 76, 76.17, so 76.15. Okay, so we have support 76.15, but below that is going to be 75. Well, hold on. 75.30. Oops. Okay, and then resistance, again, we have to take out 76.75 to take off the downside pressure. 76.75. Okay. And let's take a look at the dollar index really quick. There's the dollar index. It's going to be the same levels that we had on Friday. So basically 70 or 97.65, 96.75. 96.75, 97.65, and we're just ranging. We're in a bullish trend, but we're just ranging at the moment. Hey guys, I have to deal with my animals. Hold on for just a couple of minutes. Stand by. I'll be right back.